I got yet another jumping spider. Let's find out all about them in this video. Hello everyone and welcome back to Spooderpods. I am David and today I am introducing yet another jumping spider. I couldn't help myself at the bug show, so I had to pick one up, especially as the species is one I've been interested in for absolutely ages. So I picked up a Arizonesis, if I pronounced that correctly, I hope I did. And I couldn't help myself because the Arizonesis has really beautiful colorations. Right now I'm going to show you a photo of what males and females potentially look like when they're adults. These bright yellow legs and quite a dark carapace, and also sometimes very bright yellow pedipalps and even chelicerae. So as a species it's a little bit rare in the UK and it looks very pretty as a male or a female. I'm hoping for a male because the legs are a little bit more colourful. However, we're not fussy here, we'll look after any sort of animal or jumpy spider because they're all really adorable. Now at the moment we can't tell what sex our jumpy spider is because when they're little they look pretty much the same. I did ask the store owner. I bought this from Philippus Palace, by the way. I'll leave a little link in the description. And they weren't sure either because for some jumpy spider species they have to get almost all the way to their adult molt before you know. So we don't know yet, but we're happy waiting for the surprise. At the moment they look very cute and they're absolutely tiny, so much so that I did their enclosure design slightly differently because I don't normally buy slings for jumping spiders. I normally get them as young adult or at least like well into juvenile age because it's a bit easier for me to look after. But how could I not like with this lovely species? Now we decided to name them Phoenix because that's a place in Arizona and obviously Arizonesis, so that name made sense to us, and I think Phoenix is kind of a cool name because we like our birds and stuff like that too. And so far Phoenix is settling in very well. They had their first meal off a fruit fly today and they've even webbed up in their new enclosure, which is for me a really great sign. When I see them webbing up, making a little hammock, I'm like, yes, great. It's always nice. So they seem to be quite happy in their enclosure. And I think when it comes to jumpy spiders, we, and me especially, know quite a lot about them, so it's hard to get the husbandry wrong unless it's a really specialised species that I have no knowledge of yet, which when it comes to this one isn't too much of a worry because mostly they have the same care requirements as a Phidippus regius, maybe with a slightly higher temperature requirement. So with regards to enclosure setup, because they're so tiny, I couldn't put them into an adult enclosure. I thought it would be wrong for them and I was a little bit concerned that they might have trouble hunting their fruit flies, especially as fruit flies are a little bit harder to tongue feed. So what we did, I had a spare 10x10 cube which I got from Entoscapes. I thought would be perfect for them because at this size currently they're about the same size as a semicolprius, which is a mini jumping spider, and that's what would keep them in. So we did that. So they're in their 10x10 cube, and as usual we had a nice depth of substrate to maintain a bit of humidity. We had our usual springtails. We added some arboreal elements like a bit of cork bark and a bit of a branch that lowers upwards and a plant. Now at this point I don't feel there's enough arboreal elements in there. I need to get a feeding bowl as well because we always find that really easy when they get a bit older. But it's okay, basically. I made sure there's a hide in there, I made sure there's a platform. We've got more coming, so if you're worried when you see this video, don't worry, there's more stuff coming. But for now they seem completely fine, and as I said, they've webbed up their hammock already. When you have a 10x10 cube, it's a little bit harder to kit out with loads of extras because the space is more limited. So we tried to make what we put in their count. As I said, we had the hide just in case Phoenix wants to use it. We had the platform just so Phoenix can sit on it and bask, if not that the weather's going to be any nicer now, but when they get snuggle safes out. And obviously the natural elements, we had the natural branch with bark on it. Again, because we just find it more successful. I think, even though I love my themed enclosures, I'm going to start drifting a little bit more back towards the natural side of things because with Tank's enclosure, we do have obviously the platforms and stuff, but we have a lot of natural branches in there. There's almost a little mini ecosystem in there, and while we haven't got any live plants, it seems to function really well and I love the smell of it. Whereas some of the other enclosures, they just feel a bit more sterile, so yeah, it's just a little bit of random opinion there in this video too. One thing I love about jumping spiders at this age is they roam around an awful lot. Jumping spiders like roaming around, but these little critters are so much more active, probably because they're smaller. Some, like tarantulas, when they're small, they just hide all the time. Doesn't matter for these guys, they're always roaming around and patrolling. And I really love that about them because they're just so cute when they're this size. And that's exactly what Felix has been doing. He's been on his branch, hasn't been on his leaves yet, sat on his platform eating his fly, and I'm not even sure if they're going to use the hide. Most of the time I put them in just so it's something to climb on. So there you go, there is Phoenix introduced to you guys. Do you like your little jumping spiders? Do you like this species? Do you have one of these species? Because I know elsewhere in the world they're not as uncommon as they are here. I'd love to hear from you, but in the meantime, from me and Phoenix, take care and see you later.